They always think I won't interfere, that I'll sit in the shadows silent, still, watching like I always do. And they're not wrong. I do watch. I watch the way the room shifts when she walks in, the way lesser men straighten, pretend to be something they're not. I watch the way women study her not with kindness, but calculation, because she doesn't belong to their world. She never did. Tonight was supposed to be simple, a gathering, a meaningless event wrapped in expensive fabric and hollow laughter, the kind of place I attend only because power demands presence. And yet, the moment she stepped into the room, everything changed. She didn't see me. She never does at first. But I saw her. Of course I did. I always do. She wore something soft, something that made her look like she had no business being here, like she'd wandered into a storm wearing sunlight. And that was her mistake. Because rooms like this don't protect softness. They hunt it. I stayed where I was, in the dark, watching, waiting, because there's a moment, a very specific moment, when curiosity turns into cruelty. And I needed to see who would cross that line. It didn't take long. It never does. He approached her like they always do, too confident, too loud, too certain the world belongs to him. I've seen his type before. Men who mistake arrogance for authority. Men who think a woman's silence is permission. Men who have never been taught what it costs to be wrong. He smiled at her. She smiled back because she's polite like that. Because she still believes people deserve kindness before they prove otherwise. It almost made me step in early. Almost. But I didn't. Because I needed to see. Would he stop at conversation? Or would he push? He pushed. It started small. A comment. A tone. A shift in the way he looked at her, like she was something to be evaluated, not respected. I saw her posture change, just slightly. Most wouldn't notice, but I did. I always notice. She laughed when she didn't want to, nodded when she didn't agree, tried to keep the peace, in a room that would never offer her the same. And then he crossed the line. "Do you even know where you are?" he asked her. Not curious, not kind, but cutting. A few people nearby laughed. Of course they did. Cowards always laugh when cruelty feels safe. She froze, just for a second. But it was enough. Enough for me to see the shift in her eyes. That quiet flicker, the one that says, maybe I don't belong here. And that was unacceptable. He kept going. Of course he did. Men like him don't stop when they should. They stop when they're made to. You look a little out of place, he added, softly, but loud enough. Always loud enough. More laughter. More eyes turning. More attention. She tried to recover, tried to smile, tried to shrink herself, just to not survive the moment. And that was it. That was the moment. The exact moment the Forgodwo was watching. I moved before I even thought about it. Because I don't think when it comes to her. I act. The room didn't notice at first. They never do. Until it's too late. I stepped into the light, and everything shifted. Voices lowered. Laughter died. Because power doesn't need to announce itself. It just arrives. He didn't see me right away. Still too focused on her. Still enjoying the attention. Still unaware that his night was already over. I stopped beside her, close enough that she felt it. The change in the air. The weight of something darker standing at her side. She turned, slowly, And when her eyes met mine there, it was relief, confusion, and something deeper. Something she hasn't named yet. I didn't look at her for long. Not yet. Because he was still speaking, still performing, still digging his own grave. Just saying, he laughed. Tease. Some people should know their place. The room went quiet, because now they could see me, and they knew. He didn't. Not until I spoke. You're right. My voice doesn't rise. It doesn't need to. It carries. It commands. He turned, annoyed at first, then confused, then terrified, because now he recognized me, and men like him always do. Too late, but they do. You should know your place. Silence, thick, heavy, unforgiving. I stepped closer, not aggressive, not rushed, just inevitable. You mistook her kindness for weakness. Another step. You mistook this room for something you own. Another. And you mistook my silence. I stopped directly in front of him, close enough that he had to look up for permission. No one moved. No one spoke. Because moments like this are remembered. He tried to laugh it off. Of course he did. Haim and I didn't mean you meant exactly what you said. I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. Because truth, delivered correctly, feels like a blade. I glanced back at her, just for a second, long enough for her to see it. This wasn't just anger. This was something else. Something far more dangerous. Devotion. I looked back at him and smiled. Not kindly. You embarrassed her, I said softly. And now, a pause. Just long enough for the room to feel it. You're going to remember what that costs. I didn't touch him. I didn't need to. Power isn't always violence. Sometimes it's something worse. Reputation. Access. Doors that close and never open again. I stepped back. Just slightly. And the room exhaled. It's done, I said. To him. To everyone. And just like that, he was nothing. No one looked at him anymore. No one laughed. No one cared. Because I decided they wouldn't. That's how this world works. I turned to her. Finally. Fully. She was still processing. Still trying to understand what just happened. You don't shrink for rooms like this, I told her. Quiet. Only for her. Her lips parted slightly. Like she wanted to argue. Like she wanted to say she was fine. She wasn't. And I knew it. You don't make yourself smeller so. They feel bigger. A pause. Soft now. But no less powerful. They don't deserve that. She swallowed. Nodded slightly. And I saw it. That flicker again. But different this time. Not doubt. Fire. Good. I leaned in slightly. Just enough that only she could hear me. Next time, I murmured, let them try again. A beat. I'll be watching. And this time it wasn't a threat. It was a promise.